Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are back with Never Surrender Ship Evolution episode 13, and today we're gonna change up the ship just a bit, I guess. Alright, so the ship has changed a little bit, as you see back here, and that's because I spent the time to actually sit here, weld things up, and wait for things to refine, so we can upgrade the ship a little bit more. But we ran into an issue where we are pretty much out of materials or resources, and mainly it's going to be platinum and gold. Silver we still have a little bit left, which is good, but not too much either. So making those large ion thrusters is taking quite the time. I did weld up as much as I could already, as you see here. I'm just missing the thruster components, and it requires 960 just to make one large one. Plus I have a ton of small ones left to do too, and each one of these take 80. So there's that too. So I think I have enough just to make 1.5. So that's the problem I'm running into currently. I only got 1785 worth, and I can't produce anymore because we have ran out of gold and platinum. Oh, we don't need silver, so that's a good thing. So we need to get to a gold and platinum asteroid or meteor asteroid, asteroid, as soon as possible. So luckily, last episode we upgraded our ship with our jump drives, so we are good to go here. So with the jump drive, we go 1705 kilometers. I think that's a combination of the two, actually. I believe that's the case. Anyways, as you also noticed, some things have changed here. While I was waiting and welding things up, I did add a little bit more stuff into the ship as well. Minor stuff, nothing too crazy. But let's go through some of the thought process here. Yeah, so I can't sit still and just wait for things to refine. I had to go ahead and build some stuff out, so that's what I did. Alright, so everything was built out here in the ship. The bridge ship, or the drill ship, the front of the whole entire thing, the modular piece. We welded up all the small cargo containers. They're all connected to the drill up front. And once we did that, we added the survival kits actually right over here. So why did we add survival kits? I added 2 just in case one broke. That's kind of the case here. And why did I not use a medical room or a medical bay instead? Simple answer is because I couldn't really find it to fit anywhere well enough to use it. Anyway, I put it this way, it's like kind of blocking the door. Put it here, it's gonna block the staircase. It was just a bit of a mess. So I decided to just go with that. Honestly, I could have just forego 2 of the cargo containers right over there and plug this air right in here, pretty much, and that would have been okay. But why do that when we can kind of work with the survival kits? Survival kits does the same thing, just a lot slower in terms of healing, getting your O2 and energy in that case. But I do have a medical bay, and that's right over here, or a medical room. So I did add it for the main ship, at least the MS, as we're calling it for now, the main ship here. Yeah, but it just looks kind of odd in the main ship because the amount of space that we have is not a lot. So that's another thing. I mean, it looked big, but in this corridor is very tiny. Once we fix up the wing side, then we might have more space. But as you can see here, I started adding a few more things too in here just to kind of give us some more thrusting power and everything like that. But of course, that's gonna take forever to make anyways. So first things first, we moved the cockpit, the industrial cockpit for the main ship a little forward. It used to be right over here, but I moved it over here just to kind of give it a better placement for now. We'll probably change it later, but initially I was thinking of piping the large cargo container, the original one, into these 2 large cargo containers that are on the bottom left and right. These are the additional ones that I put here, and I was hoping to pipe it from here to here, but that just gives us very little room to walk. But I think that's still okay because I think I'm gonna put a passageway through here anyways. But right now it is connected through one of the conveyor junctions here, or tubes here. So we'll leave it for now, but it's probably a good idea to connect from here to up there too, to give another point of contact in case something goes terribly wrong on this side of the conveyors or tubes and things like that. So that's the other additional stuff that I added here. I removed some blocks back here, and we already had these thrusters here for a while now, so we're still waiting for that to kind of weld up. So other than that, we added our upward thrust and downward thrust. Upward thrust, I kind of lined it up next to the refinery like so, and that's going to give us a good heaping amounts of upward thrust right here. So it is exposed on the back side, and it's going to be exposed on the bottom half a little bit, but at least the bottom is kind of flush, which is kind of what I wanted to do for the time being. Eventually I'm going to build it out so it's not as flush and give it more design. I was able to kind of squeeze in some downward thrust right here too, which is kind of perfect. I squeezed it in, but I did have to remove this wing piece here. So this wing piece here extended out to one more block, but since I added this downward thrust, since I added this downward thrust, we had to remove that, or it's just gonna fry it down anyways, or break it. So I did the same thing on both sides, and now we have upward thrust and downward thrust, pretty much 2 up, 2 down, pretty much coinciding with everything else, which is 2 forward, 2 backwards. The only thing we don't have is going to be sideways thrust with the large ion thrusters, but we do have the small ones, and I think the small one's gonna be more than enough for now. If it's not, I feel like if I just get rid of this wing piece here and add one to the sides, that might work out and look decent as well. So that's probably the next evolution of the ship. We do need to kind of close this out a little bit and make it kind of airtight, but we kind of left the wing exposed for the time being. I'm just gonna leave it exposed until I can finish welding all the thrusters, because that's what's missing for the most part. Here we could put thrusters too going sideways, so it can be, and the only reason why I'm saying sideways is because we're lacking sideways thrust. So we could put them like this in a diagonal, just to give it that extra look to it and extra power for the sideways thrust. If not, then I think the next idea is to put a large thrust right over here where the wing is, and kind of stick it in there, expand the wing section here a little bit more. But that's probably what I'm gonna do if this is not enough thrust for sideways thrusting. So there's that, and that's pretty much it. That's all the little upgrades we did while we were waiting for everything to refine. And for the most part, I think we're close to finishing off. We have a few cobalt, silicone left. Yeah, we have very little materials left in terms of ores. So that's gonna dwindle down, and we need to start getting the platinum, gold, and silver once again. And I refined a whole bunch, or not refined, I drilled for a whole bunch of stone and iron, because we're right here anyway, so why not take care of that before we go. So of course, unfortunately, we do have to move all this here as well. I don't know how much I drilled kind of a whole patch worth, so it's a decent amount. There is a lot of stone in here as well. Although I think we have a decent amount of iron and stone and everything like that. So iron and stone, in terms of ingots, well, stone for iron, we have a decent amount of iron, let's just say. We have a decent amount of uranium, not too much, but I think more than anything we have a bunch of iron ingots, so that's the good thing about it. Looks like we have some here. We have a lot just laying around. So 189k right here. So this is even better. So we do have a lot of materials in terms of iron. but we need to get more for the rest. And since we have the ship prepared to do something like that, we can at least use it to our advantage in this case. All right, so now we really got to find the spots where we're headed to. And yeah, so luckily I thought of the idea of making sure we have our jump drives all set up before we start flying this thing with like the small thrusters. So even right now with hydrogen thrust, it's not bad, but it's not great. See how slowly it picks up speed? That's not the greatest in the world. So and the stopping is terrible too. So that's the thing. All right, so let's see what we can find. I already see gold in my view. 28 kilometers away, or 37. There's 2 spots, it looks like. Where's the platinum? If the platinum is nearby a gold, I'd rather just go to that one instead. And I'm not seeing... It's probably somewhere I'm just not paying too much attention to. Right there, platinum and magnesium is a spot right there. It's 34 away. So either way, it looks like it's pretty far away. But I think I'm gonna go to what that is right in front of us, which is gold 2. So gold 2, I think, is it labeled gold 2? Yeah, it's labeled gold 2. So that's an interesting piece there. Okay, so let's grab our jump drives. All right, so our jump drive, let's see, as a group, the JDs, and we can do only toggle on and off. Recharge. So I guess as a group you can't just hit jump, huh? I guess they do work separately. I haven't really used jump drives too much, but that's interesting. Yeah, so you only do one as a jump, and the other one is a jump. So I think they do work separately. Okay, so you couldn't jump using both. Sure. Okay. That's fine with me. All right, so go to is where we want to go. So I guess the reason why it's doing that is because when you do a jump with a waypoint, you can't use both of them to do it for some reason, which is fine. So current jump is, you know, only 28 kilometers away, so it shouldn't use too much power or something like that. I don't know. But right now it's on, and we have that as the waypoint, so we can actually just jump now if we wanted to. So I thought for some reason there's a spot where it says jump here, but looks like not. But of course we can press R5. All right, so in 3, 2, 1, we're gonna do this jump. That's an interesting direction for the jump. Alright, so we went slightly diagonal for whatever reasons. Okay, so here's our gold, so that's good. Now, I hope this one wasn't the gold that was like deep inside. Because if it is, that's going to be a bit of a pain to collect and get to. So it looks like it dropped me off about 1 kilometer away from the gold or the marker, which isn't too bad. I think if it dropped me off a lot closer, it'd be a little bit better, maybe up to 5. But I guess that risks crashing into it. So I guess usually you wouldn't use a jump while stationary, right? But in this case we did stationary jump, so should be all right. Okay, so it's 5 away. Is it on the other side? It's gonna be easier to check if I get out of the ship. Ooh, okay. Or if I detach the bridge ship and check. That's probably the best bet. But just want to check really quick. Is this the one that was deep inside? No, this one was on the outside. So that's fine. That's actually better, because it would be really rough to get to it if we did have to get deep into the asteroid, which we had to kind of right click drill, make a big old hole and get to it. Oh, another thing before we get too far, We designed the drill system last time, but this time I added a camera out here too, so we can see a little bit better. Just a tad. It's not the greatest. I should probably have added it here, to be honest. So right here should be a conveyor junction, but I can't remove that because that's what's gonna get the drills off the pistons, which is a bad design in that sense, but should be alright. Okay, so we can leave the ship here and we can get to that gold, so that's a good thing. So let's prepare to do that. We're gonna unlock, get that piston back, and of course unmerge, and we're good to go. So this is our first mission of getting gold or any resources with this detachable ship. So here, easy to fly. It looks like we need a little bit more thrusters. I think once we fill up with material, it's going to be even slower and harder to maneuver. So we do have to be a little bit careful of that as well. So I should have moved the whole ship to make it easier to kind of maneuver the ship to attach. But oh wells. I actually like the design of this. This is looking pretty good. Inside's a little cramped, but it is looking pretty good. Can't complain. In the windows here, like I said, I could remove, and I think I'm gonna remove because when am I ever gonna stand out here, look out a window on the back of the ship anyways, when I have such a nice view from the top front here. So we can change that up a little bit, because that where it gets really skinny is what's driving it to look kind of weird. But it's alright. Okay, so it's not too bad. We got a decent amount of thrust to go forward and backwards. Do we want to add some hydrogen thrust? Maybe. If we did that, we could probably get a little bit more, not speed, but a little more thrust in that sense. And we'll be able to move a little quicker and maneuver a little bit better. Okay, so this thing looks like a small bit of gold, which is not too much. Maybe it goes pretty deep in, I don't know. But it looks like for the most part, I'm probably gonna end up collecting a lot of stone. Alright, so as much as I want to keep that view, we can just get closer this way than do that view. And we could just be sure that nothing breaks once we hit our piston. So our piston does extend, I think, at a 0.5 velocity, so it's not too fast. So if anything, it's going to push the ship backwards a little bit, but not too crazy. But this drill piece or drill arm or piston arm just gives us the ability to really get a little deeper into the asteroid whenever we need to. So that's the maximum, which is not a fair bit of a stretch. And we're only doing a regular like left click drill, so the half blocks and slope blocks there is just for protection, but it also hinders it from going deeper sometimes. Like right there, you just saw it's hitting it a little bit, so that's the problem we're going to run into by having those kind of things set up there. But it's okay. I don't think we can go too deep anyways, and I don't think the gold is too deep in that sense too. And even if it is, we just got to back it up and bring it forward again. So not the most efficient thing in the world, but I mean it works. It gets there and it gets the job done, so it should be all right. So it looks like it's a pretty deep hole or resource here, so that's also a good thing. So we don't have to worry too much. I think we just gotta slowly make our way through it, and we'll definitely collect as much gold as we can. So this is gonna help with the thruster component building that's taking us forever. I think we've been talking about it for quite a few episodes ago. Alright, so right here, ooh, it's going crazy, the camera. But yeah, like right here is a good way to kind of get right into it. So now we have a lot of space up top, so we don't have to worry too much about it. But we are still going to run into some issues on the side, so we got to take care of that. I would hope, I think a good mod to have would be a camera panning mod in this case, because I can't see left and right too well. So if we could pan the camera, that would help. I have a mod in mind. I have it in my list that are subscribed. I just haven't used any mods in this scenario right now. I haven't loaded them yet. There's a lot I need in here. Easy inventory, build planner, the camera panning would be nice. Although we don't need it, but of course it's good to have kind of situation. Makes life a little bit easier in that sense. Alright, so we are gathering a good amount of gold now. And I have a big enough hole to kind of go even deeper to see how far it is. How far we can go, at least. And we are slowly getting very close to the asteroid itself with the ship. Okay. So we are pretty deep and it's still going. Huh. There's a lot of stuff here, isn't there? So let's just make sure we're not filling up every little thing just yet. And looks like we're good. It looks like I did move some stone and iron too, which that's kind of weird. I hope we're all connected. We should be all connected. Yeah, so we're still collecting a lot of stone. And not stone, a lot of gold. Well, stone also, I would think. But how much do we have? Should have over 100k worth. Is that enough? I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like we need a whole bunch. So I'm gonna probably try to drill out this whole entire like asteroid worth of gold here. Try to at least. But getting all the oop. That just kind of glitched out a little bit. But trying to get, I don't know what that was about. But trying to get all the gold, we're gonna get a lot of stone and fill up on a lot of things as well. So that's the biggest part. That's gonna suck in this adventure here. But let's see. Let's just try to get as much as we can for now. I think we get well over 2k worth. It's gonna take forever to refine, but I think that should be kind of enough for all that we need. In previous times, we didn't even drill for too much gold because we didn't think we were gonna need too much of it anyway. So I think that was the case back then. Or I should have just probably got a whole bunch of them a while ago. Alright, so this thing is being a little bit crazy to maneuver. So it is very sensitive right now for some reason. Alright, so let's get out of there. And we have our gold. We have 1036. Yeah, I think we have well over 200. Which might be good enough for now. I mean, we don't have to give up on the drilling actually, so maybe we just keep going until we can't anymore. So we need to fill up the ship. Yeah, it's taking a little bit harder to to actually stop the ship. I think we're getting way heavier now. So does that really matter in space? I guess it does. No? Yes? I don't know. Tell you the truth, yes, I don't know. Okay, I think I'm done drilling for now. Yeah, I just don't want to drill too much. It does get a little boring at times, especially when we're just looking through a camera like that. So we need to get back to the body of the ship. Oh, this thing is getting really hard to maneuver now. So the body of the ship should be on the left side of this asteroid. It does have an antenna, so if I pull up, the GPS markers is right there. So that's it. That's a good thing. Okay, so this is going to be the tough part. So being able to dock it in now with all this weight and not so much maneuverability is a bit scary. So honestly, if we could dock forward like this, it would have been a lot better. But that wouldn't make sense at this point here. So we're gonna kind of back it up. Probably a good idea is to add a camera in the back, but we're gonna play around with the third person view a bit, and hopefully we can get to it. Okay, so I am being driven nuts here with the camera angling now. And I don't know how we're gonna do this. I should have probably flown straight into it a little bit and then backed it up like so. Well, then spin it 180 and then backed it up. That would have probably have been the better bet. So I don't want to back it up too fast because then we're going to break the whole entire ship. So that's something we don't want to do. And yeah, the pickup speed here is terrible right now. Okay, we are getting close. I hope we are fairly lined up here in terms of height and everything like that. And it looks like we're not. I think we're a little too high. Maybe? Not sure. But we're going to back it up right now. And yep, we're a little too high. So we need some kind of sensor and lights, I think, to say where I'm at. Is this good? Is this bad? So we can see where it is and know when to stop backing up, how high we are, and things like that. So that's something we can play around with down the line. Right now, let's just get the resources so we can have that be in mind. So I think that's it. So let's get our merge block activated really quick. Back into it. Oh, and we're in. All right, we're good. So we need to connect our connector at the neck, as you see there. So that's a snail space kind of piston. So we could probably up the speed. We should probably up the speed, but that's fine. Wait till it gets close and stop, and then we'll connect right now. There we go. So let's see what we got. So our ship, let's see, cargo wise, large cargo, that's fine. We want to move all that's in cargo into the large cargo container, at least the first one, this one. So let's see if we can do that. I'm not sure why we have all these parts here, but I may have done that myself. Who knows? There's a ton of stone, ton of gold, still a ton of iron for some reason. But let's see, got 100k worth. Got another 147, 100. Yep, we have 2k worth of gold, which is perfect. So that's what I was hoping to have enough of, and hope that is enough. It might not be, to be honest. Let's see, the gold is going to refine, as we mentioned before. So that's good. We got our gold. And this is, again, I never knew about the whole cargo thing, but this is the best tip ever. The closest one to the refinery, whichever cargo it is, and then you line up how your ores are. That's the best tip in the world. And the refineries will grab from there. Instead of having to use any inventory managers and things like that. Because, once again, this whole scenario right now is modless. Okay, then put the medical room into good use, as you just saw. And we definitely need more thrusters. So let's see our production right now. So our production still lacking, because I think we are missing platinum. Or are we getting these thrusters assembled as we go? No, we're not getting them. What's going on? So iron, cobalt, gold, and platinum. Are we just that out of? Yeah, I think we're just out of platinum as well to actually make it. So platinum. No, it's just gold that we're missing. That's interesting. We have one assembler. So what is going on with that? So we have the platinum. I guess we just gotta throw the gold in here. I mean, that's not a problem. We can just do that. So wherever the gold ingot is, well, we need more than that. So where's the other gold? Right here. We just throw a whole bunch of gold ingots right here. Oh, it's out of space. So we get rid of the. We just gotta make room. I don't know what happened there. That filled up pretty bad, and then decided not to make anything. I think it was the gold that was the problem. Not gold. The silicon is the problem. So platinum, we have a decent amount actually. That's not even that bad. It's not a lot, but we have a decent amount of it actually. So should we stay here and continue to get gold? Or should we go for the platinum? Huh. That's a good question, I guess. So we are trying to produce as much of these as possible. It's gonna take some time, but I think I'm making 6,000 worth because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we have 8. I was thinking 6, so we need to make 2 more thousand, if anything. So let me just kind of queue that up. Right now, we can only weld up 1, which is gonna take forever unless we do the welding trick, as one of the comments has mentioned. And that's as easy as building a welder right on there, connected to conveyors and everything like that, and have it weld for larger items. And then of course, you remove them when you're done. Not a bad idea whatsoever, to be honest. How much of the thruster components can we carry at a time as well? That's another kind of curious thing I had in mind. So thruster components, we carry 90 at a time. So if we would have to do 10 trips of this if we plan to do it that way. So that is a bit crazy, but I don't even have a decent porthole for adding it here anyways. Alright, so I'm not sure why I can't withdraw a whole bunch of them. Oh yeah, because we only can do 90 at a time. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm gonna fill this one up here and probably fill the other side up, and that's just the braking thrust. So I would hope we have enough for our front thrust, and then work on our up and down thrust, or upwards or downward thrust. So this is a bit of a pain. Maybe I should make maybe a small grid chip to do this. Probably would be better, but yeah. Other option, turn one of these into a welder and just weld it from there. And then yeah, just detach it, turn it around and weld it. That's also another option. So do we want to do that? I feel like we should, because this is gonna take forever to weld anything down. The problem is, doing it that way, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna break something. So alright, so how would we do this? Even if I were to scrap, okay, so I can scrap this guy for the most part, and that's about it. I can't scrap the rest. I can't scrap this. That's the biggest point. But even if I scrap this, we lose the camera. So, oh well, I guess. And we're good there. So here is where I would add a conveyor junction for now. Okay, so what does it take to make a welder? A welder right here. It's gonna take not a lot of parts, so that's not too bad. So we just throw it right here. Oop. Need steel plates. We just throw this weld up here. Right. Get the parts for it. And why do we not have motors? Or why can't I extract motors? This is so strange. There we go. So that's our welding piece. And it's not too bad. Definitely not too bad. I wish I did a conveyor here so I could put a camera earlier. But it looks like I can't now. So, oh wells. And yeah, it's not much we can do about it. Okay, so the good news now is that we can transfer over the thruster components into these kind of like cargo containers and all that stuff. So if we did the ship category, it's gonna be a little bit hard to do in terms of this. So let's just do the welder and the thrusting components. How many can we add here? 1500. Okay, that's not too bad. And then we just gotta go here And look at 9, it looks like. This 9? Yeah, small container 9. And we just throw some thruster components here too. So, looks like that's all we can carry. Should be fine. Alright, so let's just unlock this. Unmerge it. Merge it. Turn the merge back on just in case. And we are going at a snail's pace. Why? Something is still magnetically connecting to the ship somehow. So let's just merge back in. Bit of a glitchiness here. Okay. We're good, right? I'm not sure what that's all about. We're gonna unlock, get out, and turn the merge block back on. Okay, so that was a bit weird. Is what it is at this point, and should be alright. So put the welder here. We can just do, let's just do block tools, and we can turn it on. Right? Is it on? Yeah, flashing red light. Okay. So luckily we're not too heavy now. This is where we can easily maneuver the ship. It's not too bad. There we go. This is working out pretty nice. Should we? Was this a good idea? It's a good idea in terms of welding something, but in terms of breaking stuff and me piloting, not the best idea. But it's gonna help. It's gonna help, especially the side thrusters that we have on the sides that we're gonna plant weld up to. Okay, so I think, yep, we're close enough to weld it. So this is carrying as much thruster components as possible, so hopefully it just welds up perfectly fine. And it looks like it does. And I hope I'm not being burnt down in terms of the thrusting there. And yeah, so that looks decent. I'm gonna work on this guy. I think we have just enough for it. Maybe. Where is the thruster components? Yeah, we have just enough. We have more than enough to weld this guy up. So we're gonna do that. And then we gotta wait for a whole bunch more thruster components for the upward thrust, downward thrust, and the backward thrust. But I think backward thrust is probably going to take the priority here. I need to make some kind of switch army knife kind of system again with the welder and drills and stuff like that. But this mainly was going to be a drill ship, but it looking like a good idea to put a welder here to weld up everything as well. So let's see what happens afterwards. All right, we got 146 here. That is not enough to do anything whatsoever, so that's a pain. We're gonna keep the welder on here for now, because once we have enough, we're gonna go back here and weld up these two guys. Then eventually weld up the bottom one, which is easier to do, but this one over here might be a little bit harder to do. But we'll see how we can possibly do that. And this is gonna help weld up a lot of things actually. Okay, so what is next? Other than waiting for our refineries, or waiting for our production of all these thruster components. Once again, that's gonna take forever, so not much we can do about it. And platinum, do we need to get more platinum? That's, I feel like we don't. So I think it was just gold that's being the issue. But we are going to run low on platinum quite soon. We have 480. Yeah, we only have 480, so I think we might need to get more. Maybe. I mean, we probably don't have that much gold. To be honest. We have way less gold than that too. So we're going to run out of gold before anything. So let's just stay here for now and see how things go. I should have put this on some kind of connector piece. Ooh, I could have just made this whole thing a swappable drill head, welding head, or grinding head. I know I've done that before with a rover or truck, which turned out to be not not very clang proofed. So that was always fun. So let's just edit this out a little bit too. You know what? Why don't I fix this up so I can put a camera here? Because that would be very nice to have. So let's just change up the drill arm a bit and make that edits. It's always a good idea to put a conveyor junction block where your piston is, or where your piston is initially. Why? It's because you do so much more when you put one here. So when you put one here, like so, it gives the ability to go in multiple ways. And also becomes a block where we can put stuff on, like a freaking camera. So we could easily do this. That way it'll be a little bit easier to see in terms of what we're doing over there in front with the drills, welding, or any other type of things that we're planning to do there. For the most part, drilling, I think, and welding. So I'm glad I made this modular so that we can actually just detach it and make updates where we need to. Otherwise, I probably would have gone crazy and hand welded everything like a noob, basically. If anything, we probably need more gold, so I'm gonna add back the drill arms really quick. So just add one here, I think we did before, and one up here. We could go further if we really need to. We could add 2 up here, and that might be something I'm willing to do at this point. I'm just gonna tube it a little bit differently, and of course we could tube it with the T's, the T tubes. I think I'm gonna do that. We don't have to, we could just do a single tube, but I think a T tube looks to be a little more interesting, more funner that way. So I'm gonna throw in the T tube right here and right here, right? And then we'll add another 2 drills, one here, and leave that empty right there, and we should be good to go. But now doing that, I should have a camera over here, or maybe we add the camera here. We add a camera here. Nope, that's just as bad. Can't really see much. The camera down there makes it easier to see with the 3 that I had. But if I plan to do it this way, that's where it gets a little more trickier. Should be fine. Let's see. Alright, so for whatever reason, I was just about to jump into my helm from outside like that, which is almost impossible, or nearly impossible. Okay, so if we did this way, here's a camera, just say view. Okay, so we can barely see anything. We can see what's in front of us for the 3, but the ones on top, we're not gonna be able to see. So it's worth having for sure, but in terms of the camera, it's not worth having. So what do we do from here? Do we just not do it that way? Should we add one on the bottom instead to make it kind of more squared? I mean, that sounds like a better plan, to be honest. So why don't we do that? So we can definitely do that instead. And I probably won't add those designs to it because it looks like it kind of clanged out. Not clanged. It didn't give it too much space to really drill deep in. So that was a bit of a problem. So, I mean, we could probably use plates, armor plates, instead of what we used previously. And what we used previously was those half slope blocks. And yeah, we were getting stuck and everything, so I don't think I'm going to use that block anymore. And I just need to get one drill done so that I can grab stuff from that one drill to make to move it over. So why are we missing computers? Didn't I take out computers for the drill arm? That's kind of strange. Whatever. Alright, so we need to build the rest of those drills here. So here we go. So we got our drill system, and that's what we can do with it for extra design, and we could also add this here if we want to. Very unnecessary, but we can add it just for fun. And it's not going to cause any clang issues, I think, or get stuck like we did when we put it on the outside. So here on the outside, we could put these light armor panels if you really, really wanted to, as a design. So probably unnecessary, very unnecessary. But if you wanted that kind of slanted look, I guess we could do it like this, right there. But I'm gonna leave it as is and leave it blank because it's more trouble than it's worth, to be honest. All right, so let's go into the drill system. So let's see here. It says they're all 4 new drills. We're gonna have to rename this group here. There's the D's. And the piston drill's fine, so that's not a problem. And it maintains that. Alright, so while we're here, why not get some more gold for the time being? Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. And there's something loose that just came off. Interesting. I think I completely forgot to dismantle that. Oh well. We just let it float in space, maybe crash into it, and hopefully I don't crash into it, I should say. Imagine one day I'm just running around, flying around, trying to travel one space to another, and a half steel block appears out of nowhere and breaks half my ship. That'd be hilarious. It's not heading towards the space base, which is where we're gonna have the wave fights and everything like that. So that would be also funny if we got there and it finally floated over there while we're fighting drones. That would be just insane. Alright, so we are going to get some more gold here. I do wish I had more lights. And we have lights in here? Well, a light. It looks like a corner light, so we can increase the radius intensity. I think that should do it to make it more brighter. Not really. It's not going to be the same like what's it may call it? It's not the same like a spotlight, so yeah, spotlight would definitely help. But this is pretty dark here, so that's kind of strange. Right, here's some light, it's coming in. And we can turn the drills on, and this is a much better view. I can see a little bit better this way than we did before. We're gonna extend our piston, of course, and try to get more from the system, from the gold resources here. So we have a problem with the piston shared inertia. Okay, so I don't know why it's kind of pulling me forward. Thought that was kind of interesting. So if we're fully extended, we can just jump right into it and just try to gather as much as we can. Once again, I definitely do think we have enough gold. But, oh well. Who can't use more gold, right? And I don't think that's the deepest we can go. Okay, so now we have a more rounded out drill system. So we can go much deeper than we did before without getting stuck. So before I got stuck a little bit, so not the best thing. So yeah. So we're going to probe the asteroid for gold. As you see here. That radius and intensity on that light corner light really made it bright in the bridge right now. That's funny. And yeah, this is really deep. I think we're gonna have to double piston this thing soon. I don't think I can go any further in. That's max. That's definitely max. I have to make a bigger hole if necessary, but oh nope. I think that's more than enough then. Look, it's just all stone here. Right, that's perfect actually. So we have one piston's more than enough to get as deep as we can, so that's good. And it makes an interesting shape. Do we fill up all our cargo? No, we barely scratched. I'm to fill the mounts. So if that's the case, maybe I don't add that many small cargo containers. We have close to 100k of gold just now. Close to it. It's not a lot, but it's a decent amount. Let me see. We probably want to go down this way now. So we have a decent amount, but we haven't filled up much of the cargo containers, so that's interesting. And the drill systems have 23 liters, which is a lot more than the cargo container, so that's interesting. So yeah, was that really a thing? I never really checked that. Yeah, the drills carry more. Might as well just make a whole bunch of drills instead of carrying any cargo in here. That's a possibility. I mean, we probably could just do that instead. Or we carry enough cargo containers equivalent to how many drills we have. So about 23 times 4, which is 90 or so. Quick math, not really the accurate math. About 90 or so, so 90,000 liters. So we just need to make six cargo containers, small cargo containers. That's a idea. Instead, we have 27, right? We have 27 right now, and we only fill up a small amounts of them. Why have so many? Unless because things are not working correctly. That is the problem. Okay, so why is it not connected properly? So that's connected properly. That's connected properly. This is not, or it is. No, something just broke. I think something just broke. Yeah, something broke in terms of everything should be connected. Something in the drill system is broken. So we gotta fix that really quick. And I think it's the piston. It's probably the piston. Nope, piston head. Piston head, yep. Piston head broke a little bit. Should really add that large steel tube if we wanna keep it going without breaking. So okay, so doing that should remove everything from the drill. Okay, it did. And so far we filled up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's a survival kit. So anyways, that survival kit, we could just put in a whole bunch of these so I could just refine the mats for us. Yeah, so interesting enough, we only have about 6 filled. So why do we have 27? So we get rid of more. If we get rid of the small cargo containers, we have more space for other things like a medical room and everything else too. So that might be the idea. Instead of having 27, I did 27 just to make it equal to a large cargo container, which it's seemingly to the point where that's very unnecessary. So maybe I keep like maybe 10 or even 12, then that'll give me a lot of space left to do what I need to do. Yeah, to do what I need to do or add more stuff to it. So that's definitely an idea I'm gonna look into. Alright, so I'm gonna try this maneuver. Ooh, a little too fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay, I'm gonna try this maneuver. So I know the connector piece is a little higher than the camera, so we're gonna just drop down like so. And again, I am gonna set up sensors with lights and everything like that, so we can figure that out. Easier to merge this guy here. Okay, so we should be kind of lined up here. I'm just gonna spin around and then back up. I think this is the best way to do it right now until we are ready to include sensors and play around with that. Probably do it on the next episode and just play around with sensors to make it work. But of course, if you have any tips on that, feel free to drop that comment down below, as you guys always do. Again, always appreciate any feedback you guys give. So yeah, enjoy reading them as well, and responding to them. So keep it up, and it really does help the YouTube algorithm as well to help grow the channel. Okay, so with all that said, we should be okay. We weren't lined up that great, but we were close. Okay, that's a little bit close to the side. Not very forgiving, as we mentioned before, but alright, we got it to work. And it's gonna back it up. And we are connected. As simple as that. And yes, we should do a sensor to either sensor to with the light green and red or whatever the case is. And also another thing is the backwards, the front thrust on the bridge ship. We should have that get turned off. So when we're flying this guy, we don't burn our ship down a lot. Right now it's not because it has a hole. But if I close it, it's still not going to burn. But if I make that neck piece wider or whatever, then we got to think about doing that so we don't break anything. Okay, we do need to connect now because all that stuff is in our small cargo containers in the front ship, in the bridge ship. So we're just going to wait for the snail pace of our piston. Okay, we should really increase the speed of that. Right now it's at 0.5. Let's just do 4. I think that'll work. Let's see. Alright, so yeah, that definitely works. Right here. 4. That's good speed. Once it stops, we'll connect. And of course, we got to make sure everything is moved to the appropriate spot. So here's our large cargo container, and any gold or stone that I see. It's probably just going to move it over if it hasn't moved over. And let's see, did it move over? Absolutely not. And also we can move all this over too. Stone, gold, gold, gold. Some more gold and stone. And I feel like some of it may already move, but oh well, who knows. And we should be okay. Here's some stuff from the survival kit that's doing the stone. Oh, actually, the survival kit's useful in the bridge ship, so it can get rid of the stone as we're collecting. So that's a good thing. So yeah, all right. So we're looking pretty good. We're in good shape. And I know I said something about making this a little bit better. So I feel like we need to close this out somehow. So we angle it maybe starting from here and back. I think that's something we should be doing. And this way it'll just make it look a little bit better. Instead of the way it looks now where it's a little bit too exposed, there's too much space here. So that's not what I kind of want. So we should start adding kind of like these things here. Let's see if I can make it work. So if I were to do this, just expose that really quick. And probably shouldn't have exposed that. No, actually, that's wrong. Let's not expose it. Oh, what happened to all the steel plates that I thought I collected? Steel plates, here we go. Okay, so we can add this here and like this. Then and then extend this over. Actually, that actually looks pretty cool like this too. But anyways, yeah, we should add that, and we add this regular slope block, right? Which that's the one that's gonna burn down a little bit, so we're not gonna worry about that right now. And it might not even burn down actually. So, put that there. We put this here, and guess we could put this here for now. The spotlight's kind of in the way. Or we do that. So spotlight's kind of in the way, which is not a good thing. Because we need to make it uncurved. Shoot. I actually prefer it to be kind of like this at this point. If we can. And the spotlight here is unfortunately it's gonna have to go. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's gonna look a little bit better. And then this part we just gotta kind of close out. Yeah, we gotta close this out a bit. And this one we could do a little differently and just do this. I honestly didn't like that spotlight there anyways. It's blocked, doesn't really show much, so there's that. So we just do it this way. And now at least we could do a corner light or something similar to that fashion. Or an interior lights. Interior lights, panel, or what's it called? It's the corner lights. Or let me just type in lights. And then we have the corner lights right here. So here is where we can do that. So right here's a corner light. We only can add this side, so do that. We can add the interior light right there, which also looks decent when it's like this with slope. A panel we can add too, but that just makes it very, very flat. I'm thinking corner lights. That makes it look a little bit better. Okay. So I think we should do it this way. And let's see, can we alter anything here to make it look better? I think I'm gonna keep it like this, where only the middle is extended, and leave the top and bottom not extended, but I need to fix this part right here. So this is a bit of the mess there. So let me think, do I want it to do a block here and a block here and call it as is? Oof, that makes it look a little bit off. So I need to do something about this right here. So how do we do this? We just add it here. Well, that looks terrible. Alright, so I like that it was like this before. But this is where it gets funky. So what can we do about that? That just tells me this needs to go this way. And oof. Oof. And we just gotta do something about this. So we put a regular block here, and then we do this piece and this piece. And actually makes it look a little bit better anyway, so there we go. That's a little bit more symmetrical, and a slightly better look. So on the bottom, same thing. We just gotta do get rid of this, this. So I'm gonna do block, curve, and then fix this up. Okay. This is a block. We need that. We need that. Okay. And there we go. So obviously we gotta do the same thing on the other side, but at least now the neck piece doesn't look as crazy. Or crazy wide, I gotta say. It still is. But look, take a look at it from this angle. It's a little bit better. It's closing out more versus this. This one, yeah, I like that more than this. So that's the thing. Alright, so let's fix that on this side as well. And we should probably call it a day from there. Alright, we are done with our little next setup here, which is to kind of get it closer to the bridge ship. So we added that middle piece here and we redesigned kind of this piece right here. Just a tad, not too much. And it just adds a little more depth to it, a little more design to it. Got rid of the spotlight there, but we did add the corner light just to give it some more lights for the most part. And we colored it white, so it kind of matches with the ship, with the color scheme and everything like that. Leaving it blue kind of left it looking a little odd. But I think we are still gathering a good number of thrust components, so it looks good. Looks like platinum wise we are getting to the point where we're running low. So platinum, let's see, we still have a good amount. Okay, so it's not that bad. We might be able to get away with making another 1,000 or 2,000 with the amount that we have, but it also does look like I'm gonna have to make a platinum run very soon. A gold run, maybe not so much. Let's see here. Gold, it's still refining, so yeah, I think we're just gonna hop over to a platinum spot really quick. Not really do anything, but call it a day from there actually. So platinum spots, here we go. Jump drive. Alright, so we're jumping to platinum magnesium, which is what we want. Only distance to proximity of coordination, 9.91 kilometers. Okay, so we're not that far away. Yeah, we're good. 3, 2, 1, jump. Oh, I guess that's the direction. Oh, okay. So that follows the direction of where we're going. Alright. We've made it. So platinum magnesium once again drops you off 1k away, which is okay. Not ideal, but okay, it works out, I guess, so you don't crash into it. But like, I still gotta maneuver this big old thing to get there. And I never turned off those thrusters, did I? That it's looking like it's not doing anything to those blocks. So that's interesting. It might slowly break, I don't know. We can check on it in a second. Alright, so I am flying this guy in a really weird angle just before. But we fixed that. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna fly forward. We're gonna kind of tilt the ship just a tiny bit to see where we're headed. We're gonna have to get some ice soon too, because we have 61% hydrogen for that hydrogen tank, the large one, so that is gonna run out eventually. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this series, this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like the video. Don't forget also to subscribe to the channel, drop a few comments down below, and of course I'll see you guys next time. Bye.